Week 14 DFS Bros. We're here with our DraftKings picks for the week. Kirk's actually going to give the recap this week instead of myself. So let's go and see what he has in store for us.
All right. So the recap this week.
I don't like this already.
Was my Packers whooping Nick's Eagles. Nick, can you kind of tell us what all happened on that game? I know we beat y'all by only 14, but it was a beatdown early and often.
I lost my will to live and made me even more ready for the Sixers next week. Trust the process. Let's go Sixers. I'm done with the Eagles right now. So pain.
Still rocking Eagles gear though. I see.
I got nothing else to wear. That's all I wear. That's all I have. So on the brighter things, we're going to get into our picks this week. So Kirk, you want to start us off with your quarterback?
All right. So like last week, all the Packers, they're great picks. And it looks like they're in a great spot this week, going to Detroit in a dome game. The games in Detroit have hit the over pretty much every single time. This is the Packers team that is number one in points scored now, or more than the Chiefs. So I'm going to take as many Packers as Nick will let me have today. So give me Aaron Rodgers, whose floor is about 24 we've seen this year.
Kirk, all five of your picks could be Packers. It doesn't matter to me. It's up to you. It's your opinions, man. So I'm going to go back to Mitchell Trubisky. He's 5,600, a little bit up from last week by 200. This is my thesis behind it. Week 12, I chose Derek Carr. He bust. Week 13, which was last week, he had 35 points against the Jets. Last week, I picked Mitch Trubisky. This week, if my hypothesis is correct, Mitch Trubisky should have 35 points this week. But in reality, I think Mitch Trubisky is in a smash spot. He's going against Houston, who's allowed who are the ninth worst at the position in the NFL. They're allowing just over 20 fantasy points per game, which is fantastic to have for a quarterback at 5,600. I think he can get to the 24, 25 mark. I love a lot of high-priced running backs this week, including the one Kirk will talk about and the one I'm talking about. I'll have both of them in every single lineup this week. So I need to save money, especially at my quarterback position, and I'm going back to a guy I know I can trust.
Yeah, and it looks like Dansby's going to be out for the Texans for a while. So they're down their best cornerback. It's a good pick. Allen Robinson's going to do whatever he wants.
Yep. All right, Kirk, tell me about your running back.
All right. He is the running back for the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Jones scores like 40 points on the lines last time. He's going to do it again this time. This is a pitiful backup running defense the Lions are putting out there. They can't stop anything. Adams is going to do whatever he wants. Aaron Jones is going to do whatever he wants. Aaron Rodgers is going to do whatever he wants. We scored 40 on him last time. We're going to score 40 on him again. It's going to be an easy win. And they don't have their head coach, who is pretty much defensive minded. Last week we saw how many points did the Bears? 30 plus? A Bears offense?
Yeah, it was wild. Yeah. Mitch Trubisky and Allen Robinson both barely cracked 10 points in fantasy.
Yeah. Montgomery scored 28 points on this team. Aaron Jones can do wouldn't say double that, but he is capable of doing double that. So I love Aaron Jones this week.
So yeah, like I said earlier, the running back that Kirk has and the running back I have, I'm trying to get both of them in as many lineups as I can. So I need to save in a lot of other places. The running back I have this week is Derrick Henry. I'm going back to the well. Derrick Henry is another safe guy at 8,600. He's going against Jacksonville. They're allowing the fourth most fantasy points to running backs in the NFL. Set up for a great matchup. I picked him against Jacksonville earlier this year, and it seems to be on the early matchup against Jacksonville, he doesn't do well. In the late matchup against Jacksonville, he smashes them. So hopefully I did not just jinx that, and Derrick Henry goes out and has 200 yards and a touchdown. Kirk, you got anything to say about Derrick Henry before you get into your wide receiver?
No, I've been doing a lot more looking at betting and stuff like that, and the over-unders, and that's kind of what I've based a lot of my picks on this year, is always trying to target high total games. This team's got a good team total. It's against a Jags team that, it's pitiful. They really can't do anything on defense. Tennessee with Tannehill scores a lot of points. So they're
Yeah.
going to put up a lot of points, and I expect Derrick Henry to be the main focal recipient of all that.
So another thing before you get into wide receiver, Kirk actually did a video with our friend Cody from DFS Prodigy, and Kirk mentioned a stat in there about the Titans and their over. So Kirk, you want to go ahead and mention that real quick before we get
yeah. So this team's completely different with Ryan Tannehill. It used to be a team that we looked at as a pitiful team. Offense, defense, everything was awful. And then they got Tannehill, who was washed up, and then bam, he came out of nowhere. He looked great last year. He ended up winning a lot of people fantasy playoffs. With that, they were scoring a lot of points. Those points with him, he's actually hit the over in all games 18 out of 22 times. So right now his record is 18, 3, and 1 and going over. And just with that, if you just play over every time, granted it's not 100%, it's close to 90. So I'd love to take that and print money.
Yeah, that just sort of my calculate. Yeah, that's a high, very high total. So before we get to Kirk's wide receiver, just go make sure you go check out Kirk's video with Cody on his channel, DFS Prodigy. And now with that being said, Kirk, tell us about your wide receiver.
All right, I'm gonna keep with the same theme. I promise I'm not gonna make you spend all your money on the Packers this week. But Devontae Adams, we saw Aaron Rodgers target him over and over and over and over and over and over. And he even does it when they're on the 1-yard line. That's what worries me about Aaron Jones sometimes. But Adams right now is in a league of his own. Against man coverage, he's unstoppable. The Lions play a ton of man, top 10 in the league, and they have no one. Their whole cornerback crew is hurt. I believe they may be getting one back, but if not, they'll have a rookie on Adams. It's awful matchup. Aaron Jones is going to feed him as much as he wants to until the game gets out of hand. And Devontae Adams is going to score as many points as he wants. If he wants to put up a 50 burger, it could happen. It literally could happen. But if he goes out and scores you 25, it's really not going to hurt you. But that's about the worst I can see for him is a 25-point outing.
That's still what 3? No, that's not 3. That's a little under like 2.8x probably. Yeah. Which is pretty good. So I like that pick a lot. Kirk, I apologize for talking you off of Rodgers and Devonta Adams around 1 p.m. last Sunday. I know you're probably –
It wasn't too bad. I still get Jefferson and Cousins. So it's still profitable.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Allen Robinson. I'm literally just copying and pasting my quarterback, running back, wide receiver from last week into this week. Houston is one of the worst teams against wide receivers, and his target share is massive. Plug him in with any lineup you have with Trubisky, and you'll be fine. His target share is outstanding. Houston is bottom 10 in defending receivers, bottom 10 and fantasy points per game allowed to the position. They have this weird 2A, 2B combo with Anthony Miller and Darnell Mooney. And Allen Robinson is a clear-cut one with both those guys splitting time as the two. I feel safe with Allen Robinson and Mitch Trubisky lineups this week. I would not include either one of those other guys in there with him unless you are trying to get that double stack, hit the nuts type thing. All Kirk, now I wasn't going to try to guess your tight end. I think I know. Robert Tonyan?
No, not Tonyan this week, even though he's coming off 3 straight touchdowns, 5 or more catches in like 4 straight games. He actually has the best separation of all tight ends in the entire league. This guy is a beast. And Rodgers never throws to the tight end, so it's great to see the tight end actually get utilized for once in 10 plus years. So with that being said, I'll go into my tight end pick. I've blew your budget. You have no money left over. So we're going to scrape the barrel. We're going to go with $2,500 Mo Alley-Cox. This is Mo Alley-Cox that we saw score close to 30 points already this year. He could have over 100 yards. He's had multiple touchdown games, and he's in a rotation right now of 3 tight ends. So that's why his price is down. But the last 2 weeks, he saw 65% of the plays. He is a huge, huge man, 6'7", 6'8", and long arms, can go up there and get it. We know what Phillip Rivers likes to do. He likes to throw to the tight end. And this is just, if he goes out and scores me a 0, he was $2,500. People won the millionaire with zeros with a $2,500 tight end. Troutman for the Saints. So pretty sure we can still cash. We can still be profitable. Play as many Packers as you can, and then save that punt at that tight end position. Hope for a touchdown.
Yeah, I like that. I like that pick a lot. Mine's sort of a punt. It's more of a correlation with my main stack, which is Mitch and Allen. It is Jordan Akins for the Houston Texans. I think this is a perfect bring back. A lot of people will be more on Brandon Cooks, Kiki QT, or that wide receiver that came out of nowhere last week and had over 100 yards. This is improper for me, but I don't remember his name. So I think Jordan Akins will be a great bring back. The Bears have allowed the most tight end receptions and the most tight end touchdowns on this slate. And they've allowed the 4th most yards to tight ends on this slate. They're a bottom 5 team for tight end points per game DK scoring. Jordan Akins is set up to do well. I could have this stack with Jordan Reed instead of Akins in some lineups, but Jordan Akins has proven to be the safer of the two. On Thanksgiving Day, I know this is going to haunt Kirk a little bit. He dropped 2 touchdown passes. He was so close to having 2 touchdown receptions. One on two different drives too. It wasn't like it was the same drive and he dropped them both on the same drive. He dropped them on 2 different drives. So he gets a lot of red zone looks from Deshaun Watson. Cooks and Kiki should be covered by the 1 and 2 corners. Jordan Akins is a great bring back for this stack. Kirk, go ahead and tell us your defense unless you have anything on Jordan Akins.
Yeah, so the Bears defense is a top 10 defense. They are good against the quarterbacks. They are good against the wide receivers. The outside is covered. The way you beat them is inside. So Akins is a good pick, but like I said, and like you said, I'm a little scorned by him. I mean, 2 great passes by Watson and just dropped. Could have made my Thanksgiving even better.
Yeah.
But going to defense, been picking on them every single week. Not going to stop picking on these Jets. They will not have Mims. Doesn't look like they're going to have Crowder. I don't know what Sam Darnold's going to do. Seattle's been getting after the quarterback, been rattling the quarterback a lot with Dunlap in there now. And that's put on more pressure on the quarterback, which means that the wide receivers have less time to get open. So the cornerbacks haven't been getting burnt like they did at the beginning of the year. This defense is completely different in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And against this Jets team that has pretty much just given up. After watching them last week, everyone scores 10-plus points or 9-plus points technically on defense versus the Jets. I'll go ahead and take my 9-plus with Seattle at only $3K.
Yeah, I like that defense a lot. With what you just said, though, I'll say a sleeper wide receiver this week for me is Jamison Crowder.
He might not play.
He might not play. Wow. If he does play,
no, doubtful. And usually doubtful means out.
Yeah. Sam Darnold loves the guy, especially against a defense that's going to blitz a lot. Those short dump offs to Jamison Crowder would be great, but I'm just now finding out he might be out. So if he's in, I like him. If he's out, obviously don't play him. So Kirk is forcing me to close off this this episode with talking about the Saints defense going against my Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts came in for the 4th quarter last week. He was sacked 3 times and threw 1 interception. He'll make a lot of rookie mistakes against a defense that is extremely greedy. They love getting interceptions. They love getting sacks. They love forcing fumbles. And when they get those fumble recoveries and when they get those interceptions, they're not the type of team to just grab it and take a kneel where they are. They're the type of team that will run for that end zone and try. This defense loves to get in that giant camera in the end zone, take all those pictures and things like that. And I think they're going to be able to do that a few times against Jalen Hurts this week. He's going to make a lot.
They feed off momentum very well.
Yeah. 3,800, that's way too cheap for this defense. I think they should be 4,500, maybe higher. With that being said, though, I'll let Kirk close it out, but I can't wait for basketball to start next week. I'm so done with the Eagles. Please, our fantasy basketball draft is in 4 hours from now, and I'm counting down the seconds for it. I'm so over the Eagles right now. I'm so ready for basketball season. So Kirk, go ahead and close this out, man.
All right. Looking for another good week. You know where to find us. Please like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. We have multiple videos coming out. We're also going to be doing a little bit of basketball. We do have full-time jobs, but we really enjoy this content and we really enjoy the feedback. Any questions you have on start sits, let us know. We're big into season long. Right now I'm in 9 leagues. I'm in 9 playoffs, and I got 6 buys. So I'm doing pretty good. So with that being said, good luck this week in DK, Survivor, and your fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, y'all have a good one.